Thank you for joining me during this presentation on the multiple benefits of SuDS and how we can turn stormwater into an asset rather than a threat. My name is Peter Coombs and I'm the Innovation Manager here at Innovise, covering the EMEA region. If you're not familiar with Innovise, we are the global leader in providing water infrastructure technology with a 40-year track record of constantly developing innovative technology along with high-quality training and support. Innovise technology covers the complete built water cycle, and that will benefit water treatment works, shown here on the sort of top left of the screen, and wastewater treatment works with our artificial intelligence to optimize energy and chemical costs, as well as maintenance issues. We also look at design and modeling of the water distribution networks leading from the water treatment works to optimize the running costs, reduce leakage, predict demand, and plan for the future. The design and modeling of storm and wastewater networks to manage efficiently and also understand the consequences of failure, as well as forecast and mitigate flooding events leading down to that wastewater treatment works. All this, as well as asset management software to store a complete history of the networks and plan a cost-effective, affordable rehabilitation plan. We also provide state-of-the-art SuDS design technology for sustainable development, protecting communities and enhancing their environment for future generations, which is the topic of my presentation here today. There is a growing realization that the traditional kind of pipe-to-pond solutions are increasingly failing. This is set against a backdrop of climate change, increased urbanization, along with aging infrastructure. Both flooding and pollution of the environment is likely to get even worse. We cannot continue with a business-as-usual approach, relying upon such tired, aging, grey infrastructure where stormwater is regarded as an insoluble problem and often seen as a threat. We need to rapidly incorporate blue-green infrastructure, often known as SuDS. This growing realization is backed up by the evolving best practice guidance and standards. In Wales, for example, Welsh government published a statutory national standard for sustainable drainage systems and designated the lead local flood authorities as SuDS approving bodies under Schedule 3 of the Flood and Water Management Act. The lead local flood authorities can now adopt and maintain SuDS systems within Wales. In England, the non-statutory technical standards for SuDS are being reviewed, and SuDS for adoption has now been replaced by the design and construction guidance. This has resulted in water companies now adopting more natural SuDS systems to move away from the traditional pipe-to-pond methodologies. In Scotland, the 4th edition of SuDS for Scotland document, published in October of 2018, included a section on swales, adding to the section on ponds that were already being encouraged. All of the latest guidance is referring to the SuDS manual, C753, to ensure best practice. The SuDS manual is very comprehensive, and I would highly recommend you read the document. Equal importance is highlighted for the SuDS 4 pillars of water quantity, water quality, amenity, as well as biodiversity. Historically, the prime focus has been on the water quantity. There is an increased sense of urgency to help recover our natural environment, shown here with our next slide, which is showing some of the key drivers. These key drivers are here to better protect the environment. For example, the United Nations has 17 Sustainable Development Goals, known as SDGs. This will transform our world, a world in which we each have a responsibility to deliver. Countries around the world are introducing legislation to reverse historical trends and better protect the environment. Traditional pipe systems provide zero ecological benefit and leave a very heavy carbon footprint. In November 2020, the UK government published its 10-point plan for a green industrial revolution. The Environment Bill 2020 is actually currently making its way through Parliament. And there have been some delays, but the latest report confirms implementation will be happening in the autumn of this year, autumn of 2021. This is extremely important legislation as it makes provision about targets, plans, and policies for improving the natural environment post-Brexit. The Stern Review on the Economics of Climate Change has become one of the most influential reports on climate change ever produced, since it was released by Her Majesty's Treasury of the UK government in October of 2006. Those benefits are being felt now. The Dasgupta Review on the Economics of Biodiversity is anticipated to have a similar and very positive influence on our natural environment. The review has only recently been published, that being the 2nd of February of this year, 2022 to 2021. There were 7 editions of the SuDS for Adoption series, and they all referred to the Wallingford procedure on the design analysis of urban storm drainage. This was a document released in 1981, so it's 40 years ago, and essentially sized up a storm water pipe network. So by default, all water companies have been focused on adopting and maintaining pipe networks. Now, if we fast forward 40 years to the present day, and after the publication of the Design Construction Guidance in March of 2020, this replacement for SuDS for Adoption now refers us to the SuDS manual as being best practice. The SuDS manual will also satisfy the requirements of the Association of SuDS Authorities. Now that is the lead local flood authorities who are statutory consultees at planning stage and a key approving authority to gain swift technical approval for your SuDS design. Do make contact as soon as possible with the relevant lead local flood authority, as they are likely to have a SuDS pro forma that you will need to submit supporting your technical submission. This has created the need for Innovise to produce new innovative technology to help implement this vision through blue-green infrastructure, to turn stormwater from a hindrance into an asset. We find ourselves in a situation where the traditional pipe-to-pond solutions have not taken into account overland flood paths when they fail, nor climate change or urban creep. So in short, we need to plan and design better. The multiple benefits of SuDS, including the economics, can be highlighted here. When trying to satisfy the retrofitting of SuDS to purely mitigate against flood risk, the benefit to cost ratio is only 0.4. However, when the additional benefits are included, such as traffic calming, improvements to street safety, and biodiversity net gain, the benefit to cost ratio increases to 1.6. This highlights the need for all stakeholders to collaborate across their disciplines for the wider benefit of the communities that they serve. SuDS design and the retrofitting of SuDS will enable you to overcome historical failings, understand the consequences of failure, and address future surface water management. This will provide greater long-term resilience to not only overcome existing problems, but also combat the effects of climate change and urban creep. SuDS and blue-green infrastructure provides local amenity right on the doorstep, just where it's needed, ensuring that free access is available for all. These actions create a healthier environment and a healthier population. There is an opportunity to educate the local community and help local champions to look after the improved local environment for future generations. BIM compliance and ongoing asset management is key to delivering these long-term aspirations, with open data being at the heart of the whole process. All of these benefits can now be delivered with info drainage. New, innovative technology developed to provide multiple benefits to satisfy all of the stakeholders' requirements that are listed here. Not only does the technology provide greater efficiency to build, operate, and maintain the SuDS elements, but will actually deliver these multiple benefits for generations to come. Blue-green infrastructure takes stormwater flow out of the upstream drainage system, reducing the cost of treatment, as well as reducing the risk of flooding, benefiting both the water company and their customers. SuDS will also improve the environment through better water quality, increased biodiversity net gain, and provide local amenity value for the community. Info drainage helps to implement the 4 SuDS pillars. Overland flows pre-development can be quickly assessed to enable better spatial planning. This will accommodate more natural SuDS elements and actually utilize the existing topography. SuDS systems can be truly represented, designed, and modeled, highlighting the amenity and biodiversity benefits. Water quality can also be assessed, satisfying all of the SuDS pillars. In summary, the multiple benefits, including improving water quality to reduce the risk of diffuse pollution, greater biodiversity, and provision of local green-blue amenity spaces, creating a better place to live. This will enhance the health of the local community and could also increase their wealth, as such neighborhoods become more desirable places to live. The benefits will be for all stakeholders. Well-planned and executed blue-green infrastructure will reduce the blight of flooding with better surface water management and reduce downstream flows, creating greater efficiency. We now have the knowledge and wherewithal to realize that we cannot continue on the same trajectory. So let's move tired, grey, monotone infrastructure off to one side and put the multiple benefits of blue-green SuDS at the heart of stormwater design, with true-to-build graphical representation and state-of-the-art analysis of the processes with info drainage. For the sake of the environment, the local community, and all stakeholders, we need to put water at the heart of our designs. Together, let's create great places to live and work. Thank you for listening. I hope you found it interesting and informative, and I look forward to answering any of your questions. Thank you.